All right, hi everyone, I'm down here. We're going to start first with our classroom procedures. Um, Last year we started PAUSE, so you might be familiar with the terminology. It stands for positive attitude, always responsible, work and play safely, and show respect. It's all a mission to promote positivity with discipline and management procedures. The students are very familiar that each different working area is represented by this matrix, and these are the rules and expectations that we expect them to have. So I follow the PAWs in my classroom. We give out the little PAW tickets. These are used as my classroom economy. In the future, in a couple weeks, we're going to be getting a PAWS app. So it'll be very, very fun and interesting to keep track of their behavior on the App Store. And students will be able to buy things like, for example, they'll be able to buy a cushion for their chair for the week, or maybe switch seats with a partner or front of the line pass. Different things that they can use to reinforce that behavior and continue keeping those pause expectations in line. Coming home soon to you next week will be the school passport. We're going to walk around the school next week and tour the different areas. For example, the working area is the classroom, the library, the computer lab, and the office. So all those areas we're going to be looking at and talking about how are you going to be expected to act in those areas. And if you're not doing that, then what are the repercussions for that? Moving on, we are going to be talking about our classroom procedures as far as my communication with the parents. We are using Remind. It is an amazing system that is very clean, very easy to use. If you have not signed up yet, please do so before you leave Penn night. Here's the little number up here. You'll see that you can text 81010. That will be like to where you're sending it to. And then our classroom code is the @49F642. I'm going to close out of this for a second, and I'm going to go and look to see we actually have 21 parents. If we look here, we have 21 parents who are actually signed up. So awesome job to all of those people who have already signed up, and you might already be getting some reminders from me. Those text messages are really just going to remind you about important events, important activities that might be due, that might be coming up, and just keep you in the know. I like to send pictures and videos sometimes of our classroom activities. As far as bathroom goes, students are allowed to use the restroom. They have 16 freebies. That's this chart that you see in front of you. Each one I sign and I date. So that way I can see if your child is using the restroom at the same time every day. We can kind of address that problem. Other than that, they have 16 times for one trimester as a freebie. Until then, if they fill everything up, then they will start being charged 5 PAW tickets for each bathroom pass. If they go all month without using it, then they receive 20 paws. So a nice reward there for using the restroom when they're supposed to at recess and lunch and before school. Comp folders is the way that I send a bi-weekly progress report. They're going to be sent home every other Monday, and then I expect the students to hand them to you, and you can look through them with them, review all assignments, tests, and anything else that's in there. And then after you're done reviewing that, please put all the materials back into that comp folder. I like to keep all the students' work, and then at the end of the trimester, I double check that their grades look okay and that their final grades reflect all of their results from the entire trimester. At the end of the trimester, you'll receive all that work back. As far as grades goes, this is a big change in the kids' grading scale. We are moving to A's through F's. An A is considered 100% to 90%, and that is outstanding performance, and it's above grade level. 89 to 80 is above satisfactory, very, very good, and it's performing at or slightly above grade level. A C is 79 to 70%, and that is satisfactory, completing 90% of work at grade level. And then we have 69% to 60, that's below satisfactory, completing 90% of the work and slightly below grade level. And then an F would be 59% or below, and this needs improvement and is significantly below grade level. If your child is receiving anything less than a C minus, you will hear from me far before report cards are due. So please feel comfortable in the fact that I am a huge component of communication, and that if there's ever an issue going on with your students' grades or their performance, that you will hear about it far before a report card is sent out. Honor Roll is available for 4th through 6th grade. All A's is considered Honor Roll, and then all A's and 1B. Attendance. We are counting on our students to be here every day. In order to be on time, it's a good idea to come from 7:40 to 7:50. I think we're all aware of how terrible the traffic is outside on Scholar Way. So just try to be here between 7:40 and 7:50. The bell rings at 8:05, so please make sure that your students are lined up and ready to learn with all their necessary materials. There is an excellent attendance assembly. That means that the child will have a celebration with our principal and vice principal. If they have no more than any combination of 3 absences, 3 tardies, and 3 early outs. If you had any independent study throughout the year, you're already taken out of that equation. If your child is absent, I will be giving them a folder when they return, and they have 2 school days to make up whatever assignments that they missed. So for example, if they were gone on Friday, then they will need to come back on Monday. They'll have Monday and Tuesday to make up the work, and it will be due Wednesday morning. Our daily schedule is on the back of your brochures. If you want to take a look at that, read that through. If you have any questions, please let me know. Special schedules, Thursdays at 1:40 is PE every Thursday. Please make sure that your students wear appropriate clothing for PE. Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m. is 100 Mile. Again, please appropriate clothing for that as well. And then Wednesdays at 1:25 are our early days. Please make sure that you're here to pick up your students at the correct early dismissal days. Library and computer times change every time we rotate rooms, and I'll talk about rotating rooms in a quick second. So we talk normally in 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, all the students had the same classroom. Well, 4th grade we don't. We actually rotate rooms after we track back on after our off-track months. So please be familiar with the 4th grade hallway. If you go from room 25, 26, 28, those are the 3 classrooms we'll be in all year. So trimester 1, we're in this room, which is room 25. The one over is room 26, and the one at the end is room 28. Field trips. We're going to have one field trip this year. It is a Gold Rush field trip, and it actually comes to school, so no need for bus and no need for any of that kind of parent supervision or anything, because it's a very, very fun trip that they bring to our to Eastvale's playground, so no need to leave. For language arts, we're going to be using a new ELA curriculum called Benchmark. We really focus on guided reading groups, whole group lessons, workstations, and a lot of the tests and assignments are actually online. So when it's time for students to start doing that, some papers will go home for you to be able to access that material online. We're going to be starting a 25-book challenge. Students will be challenged to read 25 books by the end of the year. They have to spread themselves out between the different genres. They can't just read 25 Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. They really got to challenge themselves. We'll do responses with each other, and we'll do little conferences so I can stay on top of them at reading. And then they will have to take an AR test at the end to make sure that they are passing the test in order for it to count as a book that has been completed. If you check the back wall of the classroom, there is the 25-book challenge goals. So you can go ahead and see what your child's goal is and what they want to try to get done by the end of trimester 1. Math, we do place value, multiplication, division, fractions, and geometry. Math gets a lot more difficult in 4th grade. Please, please make sure your students are masters at multiplication facts up to 12. Math is more of a discovery and a conceptual understanding, and I'm going to explain that in person right after this video. So stick around for math in a little bit. So here's the video that I'm talking about. I'll get to it in a second about how Common Core math might be stressing you out as a parent. Please keep your eye out for QR codes or links on Remind, the text message. I might be sending home helpful tips and tricks for math strategies such as multiplication, division, and all that great stuff. We are moving from just paragraph writing to essay writing this year. We're going to be focusing on 3 types of writing: informative, narrative, and opinion writing. Those 3 are our essays, and we also focus on race writing. Race is a way that students are taught to write short, constructed responses in a very easy to follow format, and it really helps them grow as writers and understand how to make a clear, concise paragraph. So we're starting essays, and we'll still be working on summaries and constructed responses. Here are our science chapters. We are really going to dive into some experiments this year and have a lot of fun with various science topics. So if you want to open up your brochure, feel free to read some of those on your own of the different topics. Also, again, with social studies, if you look at your brochure, you also have the list of the units in there. California history, for me personally, is my favorite subject in 4th grade. It is awesome and so much fun. The kids really enjoy it. And our 2 at-home projects this year are going to be social studies based. The first one is the California Mission, and that will be given at the end of trimester 1, and you'll have time to do it over the break. And then the next one will be at the end of trimester 3, and that would be a biography report. Our homework assignments are going to be online. We're going to use MobyMax and iReady. I'm going to be sending directions and login information when we're going to start that, and that'll not be next week, but the next. So the 3rd week into the school year, we will start our online homework. The way students are going to know what their homework is they're going to be using a weekly planner. So I am asking parents to initial this planner once a week, so Thursday night, and I will be checking it Friday morning that it was signed. By signing this, you're communicating that you as a parent have made certain that your children are completing the online homework. Remind text messages will also send information and reminders to the parents about assignments and projects that might be coming up. Parent homework. Some students do not have the Wonder Book, and I just wanted to point out, if you look up there, that it is only $8.80 on Prime right now. So if you have it, go on and buy it for your child. That's going to be the novel that we're starting. Spelling is a really great way to make sure that your children are understanding spelling patterns. Spelling tests are a little different though. They have to read through the passages and find the mistakes in the spelling word. The spelling passage. The spelling tests are every 2 weeks. Thank you so much. Don't leave just yet, because I'm going to be reviewing a couple other things, and then I'll have time for any questions that you have. So thank you. If you have any other questions about Remind 101, please stay, and I will explain all of the logistics on how to get onto the app if you haven't so far. All right, stay tuned.